Yeah, and the thing about this, Jen, is what's so funny is, I'm just going to throw some numbers out. Let's say someone worked at a company their whole life, and let's say they have $500,000 in their 401k and $500,000 in their pension. And those are totally made up. Someone could have that, or whatever, way more or way less, anything like that. And if, let's say they hire us to help them retire, and then we're going through the process with them, what's amazing is that $500,000 for the 401k, we can get on a speakerphone and we can request a rollover for that. And it sometimes takes 15 minutes. And that money will be rolled over. It'll be processed within a couple of business days. Meanwhile, the pension, you usually have to request a packet, and they send you, not exaggerating, it could be 100 pieces of paper that has, it's absolutely incredible. And then it may take 2 or 3 or 4 months for them to process everything. So it's one of those things that unless you've gone through it, you'd think, oh, that sounds crazy. Like, why would anyone do that? So anyway, I'm sure there's important reasons why that happens. But what I would want you to know is you probably want to talk to an expert before making these types of decisions. But that's part of what our advisors do, is we help you look at those options and help you decide, because of course there's no one size fits all. Everyone's situation is different. But you're right. And then let's say you do decide, hey, now is the time, it's time to take the lump sum. Well, that's just the first step in the decisions. Now you have to decide, what are you going to do with that money? What's going to happen? And an important thing to remember is that lump sum is probably a decent chunk of money, maybe a life-changing chunk of money. And the first thing we would probably say is, almost all the time what you're going to want to do is roll that money into an IRA. And the reason we want to say that is because that's going to allow you to avoid taxation on that first step. You probably don't want to receive a check for that lump sum and have that taxable this year, right? So that's just another example of some of these ins and outs that you really need to know about. And I know we want to dig into this a little bit further, but just these are a couple of things you need to do. And yeah, if we can if there's still time to lock in a substantial more amount of money for you, you don't have to decide how you're going to invest that money right now. That's a whole different thing, because you can just kind of plunk it into an IRA and make those decisions later. Don't rush yourself into too many decisions all at once. But if you have a lump sum amount available, one of the things we want to do, because this is so urgent, is we want to offer our listeners a personal pension analysis at absolutely no cost and no obligation. If you have any kind of pension benefits whatsoever, or if you're not even sure if you do, call us now at 803-9-RETIRE, and there's no cost and no obligation to talk to one of our planners, and we can help you figure out, take a look at your pension, do an analysis of what your options are, and if there's a substantial benefit to you making a decision, helping you figure out what that deadline is, and if you need to make a decision before then. So once again, to take advantage, call us at 803-9-RETIRE.